Hello, this is Mrs. Ridgway. I'm going to cover how to do a lookup function, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do that. I have up here on my screen a worksheet of a biology class, and I put in, if you look at H through Q, I entered the numbers 1 through 10. You have to mentally count your columns in your table array. And so this is table 1, because Excel does not recognize when you're using VLOOKUP, it will not recognize for you to tell it to go to column J and pull the information from it and put it into column B. So instead, it will recognize going to, let's say, column 3 and going down and pulling the information to put whatever information into column B. All right, so I'm going to show you how that works. Also, you see that I have highlighted 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 over here, and I just put this in here so that you can, so I could help you to better understand how the VLOOKUP works. Okay, so I'm going to click right here. Our lookup value is going to be the student ID. Whichever student ID number I type here in B15, I would like for Excel to go over to the table array, which is located in H through Q, and I would like for it to go down the first column and find an exact match of whichever student ID I type in B15. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to do the first VLOOKUP. I'm wanting to find, I want Excel to go over to this table, and I want it to pull the student's first name. Okay, so when I type a student ID in B15, which is right above the B16, when I type a student ID number, I would like for it to go in and pull a student's first name. All right, so to start I showed you in class that we go up to the top and we're going to click Formulas tab, and then there's a blue book, and the blue book is called Lookup and Reference. This is in your function library. Click on the blue book and then go all the way to the bottom and click on VLOOKUP. This is a vertical lookup based on information we're putting in a column. All right, so now the box comes up, and this is a very helpful box. I want to use, for my lookup value, I would like to use the student ID number. So I'm going to click B15. That will be my lookup value. So I'm going to press the F4 key to make it absolute. Absolutely always, whatever I type in as the student ID, go and find the information based on that student ID number. Now I'm going to click in the second text box, and I've got to tell Excel where to go to pull the information. It wants to know the table array. Well, I would like for Excel to go over to, and I'm going to go up above and choose H through Q. My information is located in this table array of H through Q. And I'm going to press the F4 to make it absolute, because that's where I want the lookup function to always go to this table and look up the information that I ask it to look up, and then place it into column B. The third box is the column I index number. Now, this is what I was referring to. It does not recognize H or I or J. It wants to know a number. And so you've got to number the columns in that table array. And I've numbered mine 1, 2, all the way to 10. Now, the first name is located in number 3 column. So I'm going to put a 3 for the column number. And then I want it to be exact. The number that I type in B15, I want it to go over to this table and look in column number 1 and match this exact student ID number. So I have to type a false. Click OK. And it shows in A because I have not placed a student ID number in. So let's just say the first one, 702-4-78. Okay, so it went in over to and went to, it matched. I typed in 702-4-78 here. And so that's the lookup. That is the lookup value, and it came over to the first column and it found it right here. And then it was to come over here to column 3 and take Kenneth's name and put it right into this B16. All right, now I'm going to work the next one. I would like for Excel to plug the last name in to B17. So another way that we can type a lookup value is equal lookup Oops, I want the VLOOKUP is what I'm wanting. Okay, VLOOKUP, there it is, equal, double click, all right, VLOOKUP. And now I need to tell it what my value, my lookup value is. Well, based on this, whatever I type in B15, I'm going to make it absolute F4, comma, I've got to put the comma myself. Okay, and then I've got to tell it, well, where is the table to look up the information? Well, the table is in columns H through Q. I'm going to make it absolute by pressing F4, and then I'll put a comma. Now, which column number will I find the last name? Well, the answer is in column I, which is number 2. Okay, it's number 2. So I'll put the number 2, comma, and then I'll choose false. I'm going to double click false. And then close the parenthesis. Remember those parentheses, make them even. And then I'm going to press enter. And so what it did was, this is the number that I've typed in, and it went over here to the first column and it compared, found the exact match of the student ID, and then it jumped over to 2 because I told it to pull the information from column 2, and then it shot it right here into B17. All right, so now another way, I'm going to click, another way that we could look up the VLOOKUP is we can use the FX key, which is right above the B column. It's right to the left of the formula bar. I'm going to click in the formula bar, and then right to the left you'll see this little bitty FX, which means insert function. And so what I could do is click this FX, and then okay, so it brings up my lookup and reference box because that's the most current function I've worked with. And so I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and choose VLOOKUP, click OK, and then it brings up the box, and I want it to be based on the student ID, F4, the table array is H through Q, F4, to make it absolute. And now I'm wanting homework. So which column is homework located in? Well, it's located in number 4 column. So I need to put the number 4, and I want the student ID number that I type in B15 to be an exact match when it goes over to the table and looks in column 1. So I'm going to type false. By default, it's true. I mean, true is the default, so you've got to type false. True is approximate. I'm going to click OK, and so it shoots 100, and that's exactly right. Now I'm going to do the same, and this time I'm going to use the book. VLOOKUP based on the student ID, F4, where to look. We'll come over to this table array of H through Q, absolute, and where will we find the quiz 1? Quiz 1 is in column 5, so I'm going to type a 5 and then type false and click OK. And so what I'm going to do for a shortcut is I'm going to drag this formula to copy it down. And of course, it's going to show 93 because when I drag the formula, it's dragging number 5, that's in the formula. So I'm going to click on this quiz 2. And if you'll look with me up in the formula bar itself, it's showing 5. But where is quiz 2 located? It is in 6. So I'm just going to change this to 6. Click at the end and press enter. Then I'm going to go down and I'm going to change this one to 7. Press enter. And this next one is in 8. Enter. And now we're looking for the class average. I'm clicked on it, and as you can see, it's showing to pull the information in column 5, which I need to change that. I'm wanting to pull information from the class average column, which is located in 9. So I'm going to click 9. Erase it and put a 9. And then the last VLOOKUP, I would like to shoot the class rank into B24. So now I'm going to go back up because it's not in 5, and we're going to type 10 because column 10 is where we will find the class rank information that we want to be placed into column B24. So I'm going to press enter. All right, so now we have all the information entered, and let's compare this information to Aaron's information up here. So I've typed in 702,478, and it went over and it pulled Kenneth for the first name, Aaron for the last name. Went over to homework and it pulled this 100, 93, 94, 96, 93, 94.5, and 3. So my VLOOKUPs they're correct. Now I'm going to test it. I'm going to click and type in, let's type in Gregory Goodwin's ID number 134-9-18, and I'm going to press enter, and it brings up all of Gregory's information. Let's compare. So what it did is I typed in the student ID lookup value, and it came over to this first column, and it went down the column until it hit and found an exact match of 134-9-18, and then it entered Gregory and Goodwin, and then it entered the 81, 94, 93, 78, 89, 87.8, and he ranks 27th in the class. I hope that this helps you to better understand the VLOOKUP and how it works. Have a good evening.